I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. I was asked a terrific question, and the simple way to describe it is, what do recruiters look for when they interview someone? And it was originally asked in the context of what do IT recruiters look for, but I think the answer is universal. Now, you have to understand that people don't interview just for the heck of it. They're trying to fill a position. They're not trying to create inventory, as though, at the right time they're going to go to the shelf and pluck a book off of it, it doesn't work that way. Time is precious. They're trying to fill jobs. So they're not interviewing for the heck of it. So what are they looking for? The first thing is competence. How does your background match up with the position that they're trying to fill or other positions that they're trying to fill? There was obviously something that elicited interest on their part, and they're trying to figure out whether you actually have that experience. So that's competence. But I want to call out something that, it's obvious to me who's done this for a long time. It may be less obvious to you. Competence is not the only variable that firms look for. And sometimes what they do is consider, he's not quite perfect in this, but what she can do is they're really good at this other thing. So there's a weight and measure that they evaluate. And the other point I want to make is that we all have seen people who are not competent who are hired. So we know that's not the only variable. Here's what else they look for. Self-confidence. Do you inspire confidence that you're the solution to a need? Like if they brought you into a room with an absolute stranger, would you be convincing to them that they could trust you? So self-confidence is another variable. Character. Do you have character? Are you a character? Some jobs want character, big personalities. And that sort of role, whether it's in sales or in other areas, is important for some jobs and not in others. So character is one of those funny variables. So far we have competence, self-confidence, character. Now, next thing is chemistry. And this is a funny one for me to talk about because I think firms are wrong in looking at this one, but they do. The notion of chemistry is about how you'll fit into an organization, how you fit into a department, how you fit into a company. To me, this is where bias shows up in interviews because you're on good behavior, they're on good behavior. You're not showing who you really are, neither are they. So how do you really evaluate for fit? They're not administering industrial psychology questions, are they? And they haven't given their own staff such questions. So how do you really measure for fit? And thus, the notion of chemistry comes down to, in their subconscious, who you remind them of. So it's a reality for now, and I hope that changes in the future, but for now, the reality is competence, self-confidence, character, chemistry, and here's the big one, charisma. Charismatic people always do better than non-charismatics. And some jobs, they don't want a charismatic personality, but overall firms are enamored with people with that sort of magnetic quality that they have. It just makes them lovable, delightful, believable. It's like when we elect presidents, and let's put aside the current election. Right now it's 2016. And just go back in time and say, there have been times where America has elected people as president who are enormously engaging and charismatic and didn't know a hill of beans. And I'm not going to let you know which ones I'm talking about here, but I'm going to frankly tell you all three that I'm going to cite at the time of election didn't know squat about being president. Ronald Reagan, an actor who became a governor. Bill Clinton, governor of one of the smallest states in the country with, a poor education system. Barack Obama, A U.S. senator who never went to the Senate to speak of, who immediately upon being elected went out campaigning. Now, these were men who grew into the job, and America was engaged by them, even though from a policy perspective, they're all completely different. Reagan is the model conservative for Republicans. Bill Clinton today is very much a moderate. Even then he ran as a moderate. And Barack Obama ran as a moderate and revealed with time more progressive underpinnings. And America has grown with each of them and has loved each of them. So, it's not about knowledge necessarily, but I'll call it the squeeze bottle effect. When you interview, what you have to do is not just demonstrate how qualified you are, but look at the emotional side. And as I did in a video, I think it was yesterday even, called Squeeze Bottle, when you have a brownie and ice cream at home, it's, I'm sure, very, very good. But when you go to a restaurant, there's one thing that's different about that brownie and ice cream. The answer is they've decorated it with a squeeze bottle. So there's chocolate syrup on it, the plate, a whole bunch of other plates. You eat with your eyes and not just simply your taste. And so it is in interviewing. If it was just objective criteria, you could take a test and they determine whether or not you would be hired based upon your score. Other things come into play, and that's what I've tried to address here. Visit me at jobsearchcoachinghq.com. That's my site with curated information for job hunters. That's good anywhere in the world as long as you speak English. Plus the ability to ask me questions, and you'll get coaching from me at discounted rates. Hope you found this helpful and have a great day. Take care.